Hi and welcome to the Trucking Scribe. It's Esther. Today I'm making this cute little folio that Emma Parrish has on her Ko-fi site. So we're going to put a little signature in and put some pockets, and it just folds in. It's a little folio, and you have a back side. It turned out really pretty, so I hope you'll stay and spend some time with me because I didn't read the directions, so I don't know how it turned out right. Because first I was backwards, but just something for you to know. Read the directions. Today I'm working on Blue Daydream Journal Topper from Magical Paper Pantry's Ko-fi shop. So I'm working on this beautiful kit, and it came with instructions, which is a good thing because usually I have a little hard time with instructions. So I'll leave a link in the description below so you can find it. I'll just show you the pages real quick. I did print them all out because there's not a lot. A lot of times I don't print 50 pages. Oh look, my printer we can use those though. Figure out something. So they're beautiful. We got all this ephemera. I'm going to set these two to the side. Put these right here. And these over here. Because what I got is a million of these. At least it feels like it. So that's where I'm going to glue my ephemera to, and I'm going to do it first so it can be drying for a little bit. So I'm going to check and see which way my top is so I can make sure I put these on right. And I usually cut mine out, as you can see, a little bit extra. That way I can go back and cut it, make a good cut when I cut them out. But I don't have all that excess paper, and they're smaller to work with too. Fits good right there. So what I'm going to do with them is I put them on their index card is just slide them under my mat so they can dry flat. This is a beautiful kit. I love the colors and just everything. And it's just a small little topper, but it comes with so much. Let's see. Put you on there. So if you were using index cards and you were using the white side, you wouldn't worry so much about direction. I just am wanting to use some of these index cards that I have because I have way too many. I was thinking about, I may do that, just putting the index cards on that also so it helps give it some sturdiness. Not the index cards, the pockets. I don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure, but I don't know what I'm talking about. It's the pods. I'm not going to get any more on there. I tell you, Emma comes up with some nice stuff. Have you seen her? You call it the dimensional kits that she has. There's purses and what else? I want to say mermaids, but I think it's a purse. There's little campers and a boat thing. I'll just have to go look because I'm just drawing a blank right now. Let me flip this over. So even though this misprinted, I'm going to use it anyway. And it's not quite that well. It would have fit if I had put it on there completely. I'm going to cut this a little bit off. So it doesn't take long to do this. So do I want to put that on that way, or do I just want to cut it? That way the lines are all going the same direction. So it would drive me crazy if I had a journal and the lines were sideways. Although I have made a couple like that for me, and that's why they're mine, because I made the mistakes and couldn't fix them. That's okay. I'll go back later and fix them in my journals. So do y'all do journaling, or do you just have your journal to look at? So for me, up until I participated in the Piece of God Bible study that's ongoing right now, I just like looking at them. I wasn't writing in them. But when I started doing the Piece of God Bible study, I actually started writing my notes in there for the video or for the Bible study so I could have notes to talk to everybody. So now I am using my journal. But the thing is, my journal is like a traveler's notebook, so you can take it out of the journal, out of the thing. So it's like this. You can open it up and put your pages in like that, fold them up, take them out. So I like that. One problem I find with junk journals in particular is that it's hard to write in when I'm trying to write on it. I know a lot of people do writing boards to help with that, but let's see if I'm gonna remember this. So flip B. Maybe I can put a little thing on it. So A and B. I guess we'll just figure it out as I go. See, now these don't matter which direction they're going because you're not going to see the inside. These are pockets. I don't know if I need backings for those yet. Let's just do these here, the littler pockets, and I probably will need to back those on the card. Like I said, I just printed it on regular paper, so it's 28-pound paper. It's not thin, but it's not cardstock either. Get one up there. And get this on there though. I don't think I'm going to worry about that. Might be, well, this is thicker. It was some paper that I already had in there that was a little bit thicker, and I forgot it was in there. It's just okay. Let's see. On the writing line side, so it's clear on the other side. If I get it off my paper, so I need to change my paper. And these are fitting just perfect on there too. So I am back again. I don't know how many times I've left and come back. We got at least one more. So let's see, we were looking at this. When we're doing our flaps, you can do it this way. Let's see. All the flaps A and B is indicated in the red. Glue panels A and B together, plain sides facing. So see, I may be doing this wrong. Plain sides facing, that's not going to fit. Or like this. That's probably what she's talking about. See, y'all, I'm thinking I've got a big long one. See, I couldn't figure out how this went from that to that. But now it makes more sense. I'm glad I sewed them like that. Okay. And then you see I went on the back and I covered it up to keep from, because I was thinking it was going to fold in and still be open, but we're going to glue it down, so that works too. So y'all read your instructions. You might get somewhere more than me. Not do so much work. So I'm going to use some Fabri-Tac because I've got the sewing and the stitches make it harder to glue. If I had read the directions, I wouldn't have to be doing this. I could have just sewed it closed. But since I didn't, we just have to work with it. Who knows? Y'all might have the same problem I did. Don't know how to read directions. I ain't gonna call you by name because I know there's some. I'm one of them. Oh, Diane, who am I talking about? Okay, well, that makes more sense. Get over here. So I'm using some stick glue in the middle. So I've been trying to figure out how to get these to not bubble up on you. I don't know that there is a way to do it. Let's get all my strings out because I did make sure I put them on there. Yep. So definitely read your directions. It will help you. Be like me and not read them. So I'm going to go ahead. I don't know. I may not trim that. Let's see what we're doing next. Look at my glue. So you can place these on either side of that middle panel. There you go. So I'm going to say that's the top. So I think I'm going to put mine like this, and then when they fold, they'll fold on that one. If I did like that, my flap's on the wrong side, so I guess I'll be doing it this way and then this way. So this is reminding me of the flip-flop journal where you just stack the envelopes on top of each other. So this one over here. I bet Deb's gonna be laughing at me when she watches this because we were talking about messing it up, which I'm not messing it up, but sorry, making it good. See, I should have trimmed that too. So I'm making all the mistakes, so maybe y'all don't. If you don't read directions just like me, then you're probably gonna have the same kind of issues. But once you get it figured out which way you want everything to go, it looks fairly easy. Not looks, it is fairly easy. So now I want this to glue right there. And put glue on this side. Okay. You want it to fold over nicely. And using the Fabri-Tac, it's actually giving me more time to move it and get it just right where I want it. So flip, flip. See, I could have done, I don't know if I could have put that one the other way. It's just not working in my mind for some reason. But that's how you do it. You read the directions and then you go work on it. So if you printed out the little sheet over there, I'm not going to put it on here, but I have it so I am. So I'm not even sure I'm going to show y'all where I messed up. I should though, shouldn't I? I'm wondering how it's going to get everybody confused though. That string hanging over there. I'm going to put some of this around the edge. Yeah, I kind of wondered if you hold this sideways, if that'll help that glue come out. I don't know. There's got to be some way to keep all that from glopping up. So now, the question is, what do the directions say since I'm trying to read them? Apply a narrow seam of glue to 3 edges of the pockets is indicated in red. Okay, I might be able to do that. Let me see where my pockets are. Here's one. Here's one. Another one. That one may go there, but it's a little on the big side. I bet I got them turned around. Or, no, I'm going to put it right here because it does go right there. It could go there, but I don't want it to cover up my pretty house, so I'm going to put it on the other side. You know, come to think of it, I do have all this string on here, so I need to get my Fabri-Tac because the Barely Arts and other glues, the white glues, don't seem to hold it down when you got stitching on it. At least not for me anyway. This is more like a thicker glue that seems to work better. So if you're here, I'm really glad that you decided to come by and spend some time with me. I hope that you'll go check out Emma's kit because it's really pretty. It's really quick if you read your directions. And if you don't read your directions, maybe watch a video that might help you because you'll be like me. Okay, so there's one pocket. And it's like one might go here. I'm gonna put this one on this side too. I just like this. I mean, I know in a way that you're wanting a writing space, but I just like no. So it's really up to you which side do you want to put it on. I'm putting mine on the right side just because. So probably should have rounded that corner. I seem to be having a time today, don't I? Okay. Maybe I'll put this one in the middle. So I don't know if I'll get this up today or not. Deb said if I could get it for her by the weekend, but I was sitting here and doing nothing. Well, not really doing nothing. But yeah, I wasn't doing nothing. So I said, let me just go ahead and go in here and do it. So I'm going to need to trim that off just a little bit. Not too long. I'm getting glue all over my scissors, but I just have to clean them. Should stick that down there. I'm still not sure about these strings. So I am pushing the corners of my pocket to maybe give it a little bit of space in there. I don't know if you can see that. I didn't do it with the other ones. So I have two more. Let's see. Covering up my pretty pocket. Is this one the same size? No, that one goes over there. Well, I guess I will. Because I love my pockets. And I'm just having a day to day. I think I want it on this side. That way it's pulling. If I have something in there, I'm pulling it out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some of this paper in this big old journal that I've been getting paper out of already. Let me see where the center is. So when you take paper out of stuff like this, you need to be careful with your blade and try and cut away from you. That way if you slip, maybe you don't get yourself. These are the best kind of journals to use for this because they're in with string. Go ahead and pull them out while I'm in here. I don't need this many. And I'll just stick them back in here to use the next time. And when you get down to this one, it's glued in. So this is the glued in piece. And then you got this one that was glued from the other one. You see right here how it's glued in there. I don't need no more than that, I don't think. Let's see what I got. What I need. Have these pieces. I've got this one. Would it fit? Actually, it will. Fit this one. Look at that, perfectly that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this with, and you're supposed to be on the edge of your board, but I can't do it that way when y'all are watching. So I don't know if you can see that deckled edge right there. I love doing it that way. So this paper is actually perfect to fit right there. And with them sitting this way, that keeps those page numbers on there too. So I like when I have extra, when I can do stuff like this with something that didn't originally start that way. And you got writing lines. So I'm just taking it and putting it in here up against that fold, and I'm holding it down. And I got my knife, and I'm just kind of sewing it back and forth. So saw, S-A-W. So let's see if this will be enough. I think it will, because I wouldn't want a whole lot in that little section. But since I've already inked so much of it, I probably need to go ahead and at least do the edges on these. So I see I got page numbers on some of them, some of them don't. It's just kind of looking so I can get them maybe close to each other. So there's 4 and 6. You can just sew that in. About there. I'm going to do a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. So 1 up there, 1 around the middle. Make sure your fingers are out of the way. That all hurts when you get poked with it. I know. Wrong place over here. That's not it either. Where's it at? I know it went all the way through. Okay. So Emma intended this as a topper. Well, that was her idea when she designed it, but as you can see, it can be used in different kind of ways, especially when you don't read directions and you're just kind of just going with it. I don't know anybody like that, do you? Okay. So now, I've got to cut these. They're driving me crazy. Okay, so I am back. I have done some fussy cutting. I still got more to cut out. I thought I would stop there and come back and work on this a little more. So this circle goes right here in the back. So if you want to put lace on it, which is what I'm going to do, you can cover it up in the back and then just fold it up. So I'm going to grab my fabric tack again and see where I'm going to put the glue on here. And I'm just going to run some around the edges in the middle. I have really enjoyed making this. Let me see. So I'm just going to kind of try and fold that, use the bone folder and smush that down and get that glue off the outside edges. See, that's bugging me, so what I can do, go up here and grab some of these flowers. I'll do the pink ones. Do a few pink and a few blue. See, the blue just is not showing up on that particular color, so I'm going to do the pink one. I was thinking about putting a little piece of lace there if I had something smaller. Just kind of put it like that and maybe put another flower on top. I could even do a blue one if I got something to kind of. So the other thing is this is the back. So here I'm adding dimension to it. I don't know how that's going to work out. I'm not sure about these. Probably be fine once they dry. I do like how they're looking. So I'll put some on the flowers and I'll use the other ones for the butterflies because I like the other ones for sure on the butterflies. I'm not going to put any on the back because they'll just get knocked off since it's the back. I like the dimension of that. See, it looks like a spider or something, or the look where they were connected. And actually, when you put it in a flower, it looks like a part of the flower, the dimension and the stems and stamens and stuff. She didn't. If I can edit it, because that's some of the problem for me is editing. I go off in different directions, so editing is a must.